first Stalker game was released in 2007 and it garnered a niche of players who enjoyed its immersive and unforgiving gameplay. Now, 17 years after the release of the first game, a new entry to the series is finally out with the release of Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. Does the sequel succeed in living up to what made the first game great? Join us here at Game8 as we review Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. Stalker 2 puts you in the shoes of a rookie stalker named Skiff, whose house was destroyed when a strange artifact hit the middle of his apartment. He then goes to the zone to hopefully gather funds or supplies to help him survive without a home. As he journeys through the many places around the zone, he encounters many factions who all beef with each other. It's up to you to choose who to trust, as the game gives you a lot of difficult choices as you progress through the story. The story for Stalker 2 draws you in and unfolds as you slowly meet the many factions you come across and are caught up in all their drama and politics. The game features many different choices and all of them have consequences, no matter how small the decision. You can choose to go for a more diplomatic approach and try to talk your way out of a sticky situation. Or you can go for a shoot first, questions later style and deal with the consequences afterward. We think we ended up doing this one in one of the areas where we realized that we killed a named NPC. Whoops. All these many ways to approach the game make you think about your actions, as these choices could shake up already the fickle power balance of the zone's many factions. Unforgiving is the word we would use to describe Stalker 2's gameplay. The game doesn't hold your hand or make everything easily accessible to you, since this is a lawless wasteland after all. Scarcity is Stalker 2's defining trait, as every bullet, every can of sausage, and every half-working gun becomes a lifeline that could be useful in future encounters. You will spend most of your time exploring the world and scavenging for whatever is left of the many ruined buildings you may come across. These supplies can range from the ever-important healing and food supplies to the more useful ammo and weapons. But Stalker 2 doesn't do handouts, as during the beginning, you're only left with a pistol, a few measly rounds, and an empty wallet that screams, "I'm new here." Every resource has to be scavenged, from rotting corpses to abandoned ruins, and you'll rarely find enough to feel secure. But don't expect an easy time when scavenging the different buildings, as you may encounter areas that have already been taken over by a group of survivors. And these guys aren't willing to share their supplies with a lone traveler like you. This is where the game's combat comes into play, and like we said, it can get very unforgiving at times. The game's combat really has you watch your positioning when you end up in a fight, as the enemy has different ways to approach you. You can't just stay in one cover for too long, as the enemy will try to draw you out one way or another. This can range from throwing a grenade at your position, or in the case of larger groups, trying to flank you from behind and get the jump on you. This gives every encounter a sense of tension, as you may need to adjust your strategies on the fly to make up for the enemy's smart AI. Injuries in this game are also no laughing matter, as even just a single untreated bullet wound is enough to make sure that you are not leaving that encounter alive. Tending to these injuries is the best way to ensure your survival, but it does leave you open if you are caught unaware or you mess up your positioning. Another thing to keep track of is the condition of your gear. Not maintaining your weapons and armor and keeping them in tip-top shape will cause quite a lot of problems for you down the line. Weapons that aren't well maintained could fail and even jam during combat and give the enemy a sure opening to gun you down on the spot. Luckily, there are many friendly settlements where you can have your stuff repaired, as well as buy some supplies to aid you in your exploration. These places provide you with a lot of useful amenities like beds and storage. Some settlements even have tinkerers who can upgrade your weapons to make them more deadly in combat. One of the greatest joys and nightmares of Stalker 2 is exploring the zone. The game features a large open world ripe with things to find and explore. Every ruin and forgotten corner hides secrets, like stashes filled with valuable loot or artifacts that grant you unique abilities. The catch is that the zone doesn't give anything for free, as those stashes often sit in places that scream danger, like tunnels teeming with mutants or ravenous rats that want to eat your eyeballs. But exploration is addictive and rewarding as you find pristine gear lying next to decayed bodies or medicine stashed in the unlikeliest places. Of course, every prize comes with a challenge as mutants, rival stalkers, and even the environments seem to conspire against your survival. However, the game can turn into a walking simulator at times, as the only way to fast travel is by going to a settlement and talking to a guide. So, if you end up stuck in the middle of nowhere and are currently almost over encumbered with lots of loot to sell, you will have to start walking to the nearest settlement. And let us tell you now, you'll be doing a lot of walking here. Like, way too much. That isn't to say that it's mostly a bad thing. As you walk around, you can appreciate the eerie beauty of the game's landscape. Speaking of the game's landscape, STALKER 2 excels at presenting the zone as both breathtaking and dangerous. The visuals of the game are a sight to behold, as the environment really draws you in and makes exploring the vast open world interesting and immersive. As we walk through the many different environments and rundown buildings, we could tell that the devs put in a lot of effort to make the environments look very detailed. They made good use of the power of Unreal Engine 5. This attention to detail also extends to the sounds of the game. From the wind blowing to the sound of your Geiger counter going off, every sound adds to the overall experience and enhances it. During combat, you even need to listen carefully so you can hear where the enemies are coming from. All these mixed with the wonderful visuals make the game one of the most immersive games we've played in a while. Although the game does have a quite rough launch on the PC, and most of the issues are with its optimization. We played the game on both the Xbox and the PC, and we noticed quite a lot of visual bugs and issues while playing on the PC. These issues range from very bad frame drops to even textures popping in when exploring. The devs are currently addressing this though, as once those issues are sorted out, it would make this a must-play for people looking for a great and immersive survival FPS experience. STALKER 2 Heart of Chernobyl nails it with a gripping story, breathtaking visuals, and gameplay that keeps you thinking at every step. That's why we here at Game8 are giving STALKER 2 Heart of Chernobyl a 92 out of 100. STALKER 2 builds upon what made the first game great, and even enhances it more with unforgiving combat and breathtaking visuals. Do you guys agree with our verdict, or would you like to say otherwise? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. This has been Game8, and we'll see you guys in the next video.